Hello folks, Jade Hamilton here. I've got Jack with me today. Now Jack, he's feeling a bit sorry for himself today for some reason. He asked for blankie this morning. He's feeling a bit down in the dumps. So I asked if he'd like a story and he said, yes please mummy. And I asked him which story he'd like and he said, I want one with my name in it, mummy. So I decided to read another selection from Roald Dahl's Revolting Rhymes. This time it's Jack and the Beanstalk, which is a really fun one to read. So I hope you enjoy it. Sit back, relax, grab a hot drink if you've got one. As per all videos where I read, including the Kit Wright video yesterday, which I forgot to add my usual disclaimer to. Whoops. All rights go to the author and their publisher. In this case, that's Roald Dahl, Puffin, and Quentin Blake, who did the illustrations. Right, so Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack's mother said, we're stony broke. Go out and find some wealthy bloke who'll buy our cow. Just say she's sound and worth at least £100. But don't you dare to let him know that she's as old as Billy-O. Jack led the old brown cow away and came back later in the day and said, oh, Mumsy dear, guess what your clever little boy has got? I really don't know how. A super trade-in for our cow. The mother said, you little creep, I bet you sold her much too cheap. When Jack produced one lousy bean, his startled mother, turning green, leapt high into the air and cried, I'm absolutely stupefied. You crazy boy! Do you really mean you sold our Daisy for a bean? She snatched the bean. She yelled, you chump! And flung it on the rubbish dump. Then summoning up all her power, she beat the boy for half an hour, using, and nothing could be meaner, the handle of a vacuum cleaner. At 10 p.m. or thereabout, the little bean began to sprout. By morning it had grown so tall you couldn't see the top at all. Young Jack cried, Mom, admit it now, it's better than a rotten cow. The mother said, you lunatic, where are the beans that I can pick? There's not one bean as bare as bare. No, Jack cried, you look up there, look very high, and you behold each single leaf is solid gold. By gollykins, the boy was right. Now, glistening in the morning light, the mother actually perceives a mass of lovely golden leaves. She yelled out loud, my sainted souls! I'll sell the minute by a rolls! Don't stand and gape, you little clot! Get up there quick and grab the lot! Jack was nimble, Jack was keen, he scrambled up the mighty bean. Up he went without a stop, but just as he was near the top, a ghastly, frightening thing occurred. Not far above his head he heard a big deep voice, a rumbling thing that made the very heavens ring. It shouted loud, "Fee, fi, fo, fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman." Jack was frightened. Jack was quick, and down he climbed in half a tick. "Oh, Mum," he gasped, "believe you me, there's something nasty up our tree." "I saw him, Mum. My gizzards froze. A giant with a clever nose." "A clever nose," his mother hissed. "You must be going round the twist." "He smelled me out. I swear it, Mum. He said he smelled an Englishman." His mother said, "And very nice, I've told you every single night to take a bath because you smell. Would you do it? Would you help? You even made your mother shrink because of your unholy stink." Jack answered, "Well, if you're so clean, why don't you climb the crazy bean?" The mother cried, "By gad, I will. There's life within the old dog still." She hitched her skirts above her knee and disappeared right up the tree. Now, would the giant smell his mum? Jack waited for the fee-fo-fum. He gazed aloft. He wondered when the dreaded words would come, and then from somewhere high above the ground there came a frightful crunching sound. He heard the giant mutter twice, "By gosh, that tasted very nice, although," and this in grumpy tones, "I wish there weren't so many bones." "By Christopher," Jack cried, "by gum, the giant's eaten up my mum. He smelled her out. She's in his belly. I had a hunch that she was smelly." Jack stood there gazing longingly upon the huge and golden tree. He murmured softly, "Golly gosh, I suppose I had best take a wash. If I'm going to climb this tree without the giant smelling me, in fact, a bath's my only hope." He rushed indoors and grabbed the soap. He scrubbed his body everywhere. He even washed and rinsed his hair. He cleaned his teeth. He blew his nose and came out smelling like a rose. Once more he climbed the mighty bean. The giant sat there, gross, obscene, muttering through his vicious teeth, while Jack sat tensely just beneath, muttering loud, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. Right now I can't smell anyone." Jack waited till the giant slept. Then out along the boughs he crept and gathered so much gold, I swear he was an instant millionaire. "A bath," he said, "does seem to pay. I'm going to have one every day." So Jack learned it's a good idea to keep yourself clean, didn't he? Yeah. Shall we read the next one, Jack? What do you think? Yeah? Well, this one is the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. When little Snow White's mother died, the king, her father, up and cried, "Oh, what a nuisance! What a life! Now I must find another wife." It's never easy for a king to find himself that sort of thing. He wrote to every magazine and said, "I'm looking for a queen." At least 10,000 girls replied and begged to be the royal bride. The king said with a shifty smile, "I'd like to give each one a trial." However, in the end, he chose a lady called Miss Maclehose, who brought along a curious toy that seemed to give her endless joy. This was a mirror framed in brass, a magic talking looking glass. Ask it something, day or night, it always got the answer right. For instance, if you were to say, "Oh, mirror, what's for lunch today?" the thing would answer in a trice, "Today it's scrambled eggs and rice." Now, every day, week in, week out, the spoiled and stupid queen would shout, "Oh, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror answered every time, "Oh, madam, you're the queen sublime. You are the only one to charm us. Oh, queen, you are the cat's pajamas." For 10 whole years, the silly queen repeated this absurd routine. Then suddenly, one awful day, she heard the magic mirror say, "From now on, queen, you're number 2. Snow White is prettier than you." The queen went absolutely wild. She yelled, "I'm gonna scrag that child! I'll cook her flaming goose! I'll skin her! I'll have her rotten guts for dinner!" She called the huntsman to her study. She shouted at him, "Listen, buddy, you drag that filthy girl outside and see you take her for a ride. Thereafter, slit her ribs apart and bring me back her bleeding heart." The huntsman dragged the lovely child deep, deep into the forest wild. Fearing the worst, poor Snow White spake. She said, "Oh, please give me a break." The knife was poised, the arm was strong. She cried again, "I've done no wrong." The huntsman's heart began to flutter. It melted like a pound of butter. He murmured, "Okay, beat it, kid." And you can bet your life she did. Later, the huntsman made a stop within the local butcher's shop, and there he bought, for safety's sake, a bullock's heart and one nice steak. "Oh, Majesty, oh, Queen," he cried, "that rotten little girl has died, and just to prove I didn't cheat, I've brought along these bits of meat." The Queen cried out, "Bravissimo! I trust you killed her nice and slow." Then, this is the disgusting part, the Queen sat down and ate the heart. I only hope she cooked it well. Boiled heart can be as tough as hell. While all of this was going on, oh where had Snow White gone? She found it easy, being pretty, to hitch a ride into the city. And there she'd got a job, unpaid, as general cook and parlour maid to 7 funny little men, each no more than 3'10". Ex-horse race jockeys, all of them. The Seven Dwarves, though awfully nice, were guilty of one shocking vice. Sorry, Jack? What's a vice? It's a naughty thing that you do. Something that you shouldn't do, that you do anyway. Were guilty of one shocking vice. They squandered all of their resources. Sorry, Jack? What's squandered? Wasted. They squandered all of their resources at the racetrack backing horses. When they hadn't backed a winner, none of them got any dinner. One evening, Snow White said, "Look here, I think I've got a great idea. Just leave it all to me, okay? And no more gambling till I say." That very night at eventide, young Snow White hitched another ride. And then, when it was very late, she slipped in through the palace gate. The king was in his counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlour, eating bread and honey. The footman and the servants slept, so no one saw her as she crept on tiptoe through the mighty hall and grabbed the mirror off the wall. As soon as Snow White got it home, she told the senior dwarf, or gnome, to ask it what he wished to know. "Go on," she shouted, "have a go." He said, "Oh, mirror, please don't choke. Each one of us is stony broke. Which horse will win tomorrow's race? The Ascot Gold Cup steeplechase." The mirror whispered, sweet and low, "The horse's name is Mistletoe." The dwarfs went absolutely daft. They kissed young Snow White fore and aft, then rushed away to raise some dough with which to back old Mistletoe. They pawned their watches, sold the car, they borrowed money near and far. For much of it, they had to thank the managers of Barclays Bank. As a dear friend of mine said when he helped read this many years ago, other banks are available. They went to Ascot and, of course, for once they backed the winning horse. Thereafter, every single day, the mirror made the bookies pay. Each dwarf and Snow White got a share, and each was soon a millionaire, which shows that gambling's not a sin, provided that you always win. How was that, Jack? Did you enjoy that? Yeah, that's really good to know, lovey. I hope you enjoyed that too. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, commenting. It really makes my day. And I will see you soon. Cheerio! Can you wave, Jack? Good boy. Cheerio, everyone.